The front desk remembered him clearly. They remembered the time he arrived. They remembered the way he spoke. They remembered the room number, room 428. He checked in late, no luggage, no visible stress, just a man who looked like he already knew where he was going. He gave his name. It was written down. Later, it would lead nowhere. No online presence, no records, no trace of a person who should have existed. He paid in cash, didn't ask about amenities, didn't ask about checkout time. Just one request, a quiet room. Room 428. The key card was handed over. Security cameras confirmed it. He walked through the lobby, past the elevators, entered the hallway, and the footage skipped, not glitched, skipped, a clean jump forward in time. When the feed resumed, the hallway was empty. Room 428's door was closed. From the outside, everything looked normal, too normal. Housekeeping knocked the next morning. No answer. They waited, knocked again, still nothing. Management was notified. They unlocked the door. Room 428 was empty. Not disturbed, not damaged. Empty in a very specific way. The bed was made, the bathroom unused, no personal items anywhere. No phone charger, no clothes, no wallet, nothing. As if the room had never been occupied, except for one detail. The room keycard was on the desk, placed neatly, as if returned. Security reviewed the footage again. They saw him enter the hotel. They saw him approach the elevators. They never saw him leave. They never saw him enter another area. Room 428 existed in the records. The guest existed in memory, but not on camera. Staff began talking, quietly. Different descriptions emerged. One employee remembered dark hair. Another remembered it lighter. One said he was tall. Another said average height. Everyone agreed on one thing. He was polite. Too polite. As if he was copying manners rather than using them. The hotel contacted authorities. A missing person report was filed, but there was no person to report missing. The name led nowhere. The phone number didn't exist. No one had reported a disappearance matching the description. Room 428 was locked, not for investigation, for comfort. Guests complained about the floor, not noise, not temperature, a feeling. People asked to move rooms. They couldn't explain why. They just didn't want to stay near room 428. Housekeeping reported entering the room and feeling watched, not observed, waited for. Like the room expected something. One staff member claimed the curtains were open after being closed. Another said the lights turned on by themselves. Maintenance found nothing wrong, no faulty wiring, no mechanical explanation. The room passed inspection. But something about it resisted change. Furniture stayed aligned. Dust never settled. As if time behaved differently inside. The elevator logs were checked. They showed something strange. The elevator stopped at the 4th floor that night. Doors opened, then closed. No weight change, no card swipe, just a stop. Room 428 is on the 4th floor. The cameras didn't record the hallway at that moment. Another skip, less than a minute, enough. Someone suggested the guests left through the fire stairs. They checked. The alarm logs showed nothing. No doors opened, no exits triggered. The man didn't leave the building. But he wasn't inside either. Days passed. The case went quiet, officially unresolved, unofficially avoided. Room 428 was removed from booking systems, listed as under maintenance, but no work was done. Guests continued to mention odd things. A feeling of compression, like the hallway narrowed near the door, like the air thickened. One guest reported hearing footsteps stop outside their room. When they opened the door, nothing. Room 428 remained silent, too silent. Years later, someone revisited the case. An independent researcher. They interviewed former staff. Memories had faded, details blurred. But one thing remained consistent. Everyone remembered the room number. Room 428. They remembered how often it was mentioned, how often it came up, more than any other room, as if the building itself was trying to remember it. They pulled old architectural plans. The 4th floor was normal, but something was off. The measurements didn't quite add up. The hallway length didn't match the number of rooms. There was extra space, unaccounted for. Room 428 occupied more area than it should have, not by much. Enough to notice, enough to ignore. The researcher checked other hotels. Similar cases emerged. Different cities, different numbers, same pattern. A guest checks in, no luggage, pays in cash, is seen entering, never seen leaving. The room becomes difficult, avoided, eventually closed. The rooms always existed in places with excess space, architectural gaps, dead zones. The question shifted. Not where did he go, but what did he do there? Room 428 wasn't a place to stay. It was a place to pass through, a threshold, a waiting area. Something about the guest felt unfinished, like a process that stopped halfway, as if he understood the idea of being human, but not the details. He brought no belongings, because he didn't need them. He gave a name, because names are expected. He paid, because transactions matter. He went to the room, because that's what you do. But leaving requires continuity, and continuity may have been the problem. Room 428 didn't erase him, it revealed him. Guests who stayed nearby reported dreams, hallways looping, doors that led nowhere, rooms that felt bigger on the inside. One guest claimed they dreamed of standing inside room 428, even though they had never entered it. They said it felt incomplete, like something was supposed to happen there, but didn't. The hotel eventually renovated the floor. Room numbers changed. Room 428 disappeared, officially, but staff said the hallway still felt wrong, like something was missing or waiting. You can remove a room from records, you can change the number, but you can't always remove the space it occupied. Some places remember, and some guests don't leave because they were never fully there to begin with. Room 428 remains unsolved, not because there are no answers, but because the right questions were never meant to be asked. And if you ever check into a hotel late at night and you're given a room number that feels too specific, listen carefully, because sometimes rooms aren't for resting, they're for disappearing.